Alright, so we're going to cover a better looking flyer. Now look at this one here. It's all nicely formatted. It's a better version of the one you were just looking at. And if I flip through it, you can see the pictures change. Okay, and also the words change in the iPhone. Okay, we'll zoom down a bit here and have a look at it. Alright, and there's what it looks like up close. And we're also going to cover what to do if you get a phone call. Now, if you get a really small mom and pop business like this one, you could probably go for as low as $50 per month. Minimum 3 months up front with no monthly contract. Then go to Do to Mobile and create a site. So if you're a reseller, this will cost you $72 a year for a site like this. Okay, and these are really easy to create. If you're not a reseller, it's $108 a year. That's why you would charge 3 months up front and make sure you get your money out of it. Now, if you add a loyalty button like this, and let's preview this. Okay, there's a loyalty rewards program. Now you can charge more, obviously. So your cost for this is about 2.5 cents per transaction. So if they've got 1,000 transactions, then it's going to cost you $25 a month for that. So you got to charge accordingly. So if that's the case, you might have to charge them maybe $200 a month, mark it up. Either that or charge them 10 cents per transaction. That would work too. Alright, so much for mom and pop operations. So let's find a little bit bigger game here. Let's zoom down the street here. Alright, now if we see a much larger establishment like this, ABC Country. This is a franchise, and there's 29 of these, I think, in British Columbia and Alberta. So you'd have to give them a volume discount if you're dealing with them, and I am dealing with them right now. Now, if this were a single restaurant, it would be more like $800 a month if it were not a franchise. But since you're dealing in volume, I would give them a break here on this. Now you have to be kind of careful on this because you got to figure out the amount of transactions they do a month. So if they're doing, say, 20 or 10,000 transactions a month at 2.5 cents each, you're looking at $200 in transactions alone. So then you'd have to charge them, say, $500 a month. And that way you'd make $300 a month profit on 29 restaurants. So that's pretty well worth it. You got to do your math on this thing, in other words. Alright, and here's their site that I designed. And let's take a look at it. We'll preview here. Okay, and the whole thing works. And there's the loyalty program here. Now this one has an extra page because I did a little extra care with this one. It's got an explanation page, which you don't necessarily need, but I just thought it looked cooler. If you click that, there we go. There's our rewards program. Okay, and creating these pages isn't that hard. They give you a list of pages here. And this was the page I created here. It's really simple adding in these pictures and the little paragraphs and the button and all that. It's super easy. I do it off a template. Now, how you do all this, I'm going to do an example one in the course. And if you want a little more detail, go to the video that says adding the loyalty button. So check that video out and we'll have a little bit more on it. Now, getting back to the flyer, this one will work a little better than the other one I showed you because now it's getting personal. The person who gets this flyer is going to be standing in the very store when they get it, and it's going to be pictured on the flyer. So they're going to not throw it away, they're going to look at this. So if it's a gatekeeper or an employee, they're more likely to pass this on to the owner. Okay, and if it's an owner that looks at it and sees it, obviously they're going to pay attention to it. They're not just going to toss it, as junk mail. They're going to see that this was made specially for them. And they're actually going to read it. They're going to pay attention to it. Now here's how I created this flyer. Okay, so first I go to the spreadsheet here, and I'm going to nickname the images that I'm going to cut out as I'm going down Google Street here. Okay, as you can see save and shop food stores is save.jpg, Warcraft war.jpg, and just nickname them to whatever makes sense. Okay, next thing you do is you can just copy the address, Control C. Now just click on Maps up here, and now I'm going to Control V. I'm going to paste the address in from the spreadsheet. Alright, and it takes me right to the beginning where we started. Click on the street view, and there we are. Okay, now you can get rid of this stuff here. So let's stroll in front of this shop here and just use your mouse to turn around, look at it square like that. Now you can use on your mouse, if you got a little roller bar there or a little wheel, you can use the wheel, turn it forward, and it gives you a close-up. Okay, you can move that down a bit, try to get a fairly good shot. Okay, now we'll move down to our snipper tool here like this, and I'm going to cut out that, I'm going to frame that picture there. Okay, so we're going to say File, Save As, and I called this one Save. Okay, it's right there. I've done this before just to save some time, but I'll show you the motions. Yes. Okay. See, we'll double check here. We called that Save. Okay. The next one we're going to call War for Warcraft Games. So let's move down the street a little bit. We don't have to move, it's right there. I can just use my little roller to creep up on it a little bit. Okay, zoom in, and now we'll go to our snipper, and we'll snip that one out. File, Save As, and I called it War. Alright, and so on. You could just go down the street a little bit now to get a shot for that. Just put your little arrow there, move it a bit, click on it, and then move sideways. Oops, I went too far. Alright, and there I am, I'm pretty well in front of it. Use my little roller to zoom in a bit. Oops, a little bit too close, there's a good shot. And again, use the snipper tool. File, Save As. And what do they call it? Lucky. Okay, that was the nickname. Alright, so all these pictures have now been saved in that folder. So now all you have to do is just keep on walking down Google Street. Okay, now getting back to the flyer. So how do we create it? How do we make it so those pictures change? Well, see, if you click on that, you'll see the first level of embedded code. Okay, and if you click there, you see it comes back to normal. Okay, so that's previewing the results. Now there's the first level of embedded code, and now we're going to look at the second level. It looks a little different. Okay, and here's the actual formula here. Alright, now this is further covered again in that video called Adding the Loyalty Button. And I go over how you do that. Okay, so let's get it back into normal mode here. Alright, so now I can actually pick the ones I want, like this. I didn't do them all, so yeah, the way you do that is you click this, and I think I did up to here, and I haven't gotten the pictures for the rest, so the way you can check that is Just scroll over and see which ones you did. Okay, say OK. Now I can just say finish and merge here. Now if I had email addresses, I could email this first. I can print it directly to the printer, or I can just first put the individual documents out there, create the individual documents, and then have a look at them first, make sure they all worked out. Okay, and you of course put your own logo in there, right? That's mine, and of course you add your own contact information in there. So basically this is what it looks like, and now you've got a better attention getting flyer. Okay, and I actually did a little better I did both versions of the flyers. This one worked a little better. I had to put out less flyers to get the second contact, or the second contract actually. But they'll both work, so you can use the other version too if you can't do this one. Anyway, that wraps it up for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can use it.